But I'm excited to see that it is continuing because it kind of felt like it wasn't going to necessarily just based off of how the match went. But then you hear from the people who were there, Nakamura. I mean, you knew something was going to happen after they went off the air because Nakamura was just awkwardly standing there, just like, oh, I'm so mad I lost. Just like as Seth is like, in the ring, like you knew something was going to happen. And then he does attack Seth afterwards. So I'm glad that it's continuing. And we saw the continuation of it on Raw when Rollins comes out, of course, has the crowd sing, welcomes everybody to Monday Night Rollins and talks about how he wasn't able to walk out of Payback, that his wife had to push him out in a wheelchair. And I was like, if I'm supposed to believe that, you look pretty good 2 days later. I'm not going to, but that's okay.
Kayfabe's not dead to him, Sarah.
So he calls out Nakamura. And this is the part where I saw some people that got kind of irritated about it, and I was like, I was here for it. So Nakamura does come out, and Seth is like, hey, like, I know what you want, and I'm just gonna give you what you want. I'm gonna give you a rematch tonight for the title. And Shinsuke's just standing there and he just starts speaking Japanese, and I was like, yes, king, do that. And then Seth is like, okay, whatever, I don't know what you said, dude, but like, I'm gonna give you a rematch. And I love then Shin is just like, no.
No.
And Seth's like, why not? And Shin's just like, no. And that was where people started getting frustrated because they were like, okay, he lost clean on Saturday, he's getting a rematch that he doesn't deserve, and then he's saying no. I don't understand it. And I'm like, it makes the most sense.
So much sense. It's beating up him so bad that it's baiting him into something he cannot find himself the winner in.
Yeah.
Like it's not like, if you could have another match, you could win another wrestling match. But he's going to do exactly what he did last time.
Yeah.
So you want him to push it to an extreme that that he knows he can win. It is classic Japanese style wrestling, old school wrestling.
And I'm like, I understand when you just hear that on the surface, it doesn't make sense. If you don't have context to it, it doesn't make sense. And you're going to be like, oh, it's just another silly WWE booking that doesn't make sense, blah, blah, blah. I understand. But when you see how this interaction went down, how it doesn't make sense to you doesn't make sense to me. Because other than the reverse psychology thing, like, look at Seth. How was Seth reacting to Shinsuke saying no? He was getting livid. Like, how dare you? Like, I'm giving you this and you're saying no? Like, you don't even need it, blah, blah, blah. And Shinsuke is not bothered. He's just like, I don't give a fuck. Like, he doesn't care. And it then leads to them brawling, which I'm like, you don't think Shinsuke wanted that? Like, he doesn't care if you have to give him another match because you're like pissed that he isn't doing what you want him to do. He doesn't care if you get injured and you have to forfeit the title. Like, he doesn't care. And I'm like, I was like enthused and confused with what people were saying, because I was like, I feel like this is fairly obvious.
Playing mind
exactly games. And that's a level that we need from this character of Shinsuke, who I am obsessed with. I've been obsessed with Shinsuke, but I'm so obsessed with this version of Shinsuke. This is exactly the type of heel run that he deserved when they originally did it. And that's why I had that video where I cut that clip from last week where Vince really did drop the ball, or whoever was on the creative team when they first had Shinsuke turn heel, because there was no reason for it to not work. And yet it didn't work.